Greetings, I am Rose. I am here today to speak with you about the nature of love and how this can be used as a force for good in your life and for the whole world. You are not flesh and bone as you believe. You are energy, focused specifically through your own perception at a much higher, wider ratio than you can see now. And yet, the you that I speak to as a friend, as an equal, as a companion. You slumber as I speak. You are smiling in your sleep. Some of you are dreaming the most beautiful dreams. Through your projection, those beautiful dreams are lived. More often than not, some of you are projecting shadier and shadowy holograms. And so your lives in this place, in this template that acts as your theatre, are not causing you to enjoy them as much as you could. If I could, I would wake you up. If I could, I would look into your eyes and I would say to the heavenly friend that I know so well, make your dreams full of love. And you will say to me, but what fun is that? I am experiencing so much more this way. Yes, I know that the dreamer believes that they are in jeopardy, and they believe that they are in peril, and they are navigating all those twists and turns, and it's exciting for me to watch. And I will try to explain to you, but that dreamer believes that we are the dream, believes that heaven is the fantasy, believes that all of the temples and the halls and the gardens and the concerts, all the scientific research that is being projected out into form, that this is all a fantasy. And your dreamer, your character who is in the middle of the game, they are scared. Please dream your dream in a kinder way. But you won't hear of it. You are very stubborn, very set upon experiencing what you cannot truly comprehend in a realm of pure love, in a realm of pure light, in a place of pure joy, because your experience truly is made of the same stuff as all of creation, which is love. And the further away from the center of love that you move, the ripples and the reflections are mirrored in a myriad of different ways. And so in order for you, this speck of you, to have a life that is reflecting the joy and the bliss that you really live in, it is important for you to become the dreamer as well as the actress or the actor within the dream. Because this version of you is connected to the 10-foot version of you. This version of you is connected to the unaging version of you. And this version of you has the right to alter the projection that is most interesting to your wider self. So first of all, in order for you to do this, I want to take you away from the notion of heaven. I want to bring this back nearer to earth. I wish to speak to you of the fourth density, which is connected to the fourth chakra, which is the realm of the heart. This is known as the causal plane. And the causal plane is as real to those inhabiting it as this. And from the causal plane, it is rather like you are watching a miniature version of yourself trying to get up to the different levels, rather like your computer games. And your causal self is watching the weapons that you use, whether these weapons are guns or knives or words or thoughts, or feelings that you project in a harmful manner towards others, about yourself, to the earth herself. You are watching a miniaturized version of you within a hologram, acting as if you were really in peril. And the causal version of you is interested in assisting the levels to be reached in a much easier manner, so that the golden coins and so that the jewels can be found. And the way that your causal self does this is by interacting with the other friends that you have that are also engaging within the platform of the third dimensional game. And so one of the things that you can do to allow your so-called real life to be better played out is to ask your soul, which is a solid version of yourself in a different realm. Think of this as a big sister or brother, and ask your soul self to liaise with your soulmates, and there are many different kinds of soulmates, and ask your soulmates to alter the settings of your soul contract. Now, your soul contracts were agreed in great detail by your seventh dimensional self before you came into your mother's body. But when you are in the game, there are amendments that can be made. And you, as the character, have the right to put in a request form that these amendments are made. So to begin with, my dear, let me speak to you about the different soulmates that you have. The first thing to remember is no matter the character that they are playing within your world, that is not necessarily the character that they truly are. So let us say that you are having difficulty with a romantic partner. It may well be that in your angst to find a way through with this partnership, that you neglect to consider that you actually have a teaching contract with them from the soul realm. And so if you understood this, it would be very, very easy to make the request as the shop worker that any soul contracts which are not allowing your spouse to learn what you are trying to teach, or that you are not managing to learn whatever they are trying to teach, that your soul self and their soul self are able to amend the contract so that your interaction here within the game becomes easier yet. So we wish to make this simple. You have another 8 physical selves within the realm that they are in. The ground is firm, the sky is there, you have a home, you have a job, you have friends, you have learning to do, and you teach. And in each of these different realms, your perspective is altered. And every perspective that you have is interested in the perspective below, as well as the perspective around and the perspective above. And so it is entirely possible to petition the level above you to assist you with the level that you are in. And so you are not really ever by yourself dealing with anything, because there are many of you. And so we are going to ask you this question: are you ready for change? If you are ready for change, we would like you to ask that your soul hears you, and that your soul gathers with her all of the characters that are disallowing ease within your life, or through your earthly perception here, the characters that you believe are allowing dis-ease within your life. And maybe there are characters that you have not met yet, that your soul is keeping at bay until you achieve the particular level that you are on. So we would ask you to imagine that you are in a meeting, and you can do this with your soulmates, soul bodies, or you can do this with your guides, whichever is preferable to you. If you imagine that you are in a meeting with your guides, then your guides will work with the soulmates' soul bodies, and then the meeting will be held in that way. And you really want to just make a list first of all, and you want to say, dear guides, or dear soul self, I ask that you interact with all my soulmates involved in my mental well-being, or all my soulmates involved in my career, or all my soulmates involved in my family. And you do not need to worry about identifying who you should address. It may be that in your mind, the only people that you require are your immediate family members. But actually, it may well be that their employer is affecting the way that they are interacting with you on the earth plane. So their soul self is invited. It may well be that your children's grandparents have an influence on their son, and you are married to their son, and therefore their soul selves are brought into the meeting. It may well be that you are struggling within your career, and that you are not reaching the clients or the customers that you believe you're here to serve. So you simply say, dear soul self, or to my team of guides, please call an urgent meeting of everybody that at soul level is invested in my soul growth regarding my career. Do not worry too much about the words. And once you have written that down, you want to write down underneath it, my goals are, and you then need to state 3 goals that you have energetically without making this about the outcome. So if you are challenged within your career, you say, my goals are to be financially provided for. My goal is to be recognized. My goal is to be gainfully employed. I hand this to you and accept your help. And then you sign it with your earthly name. And then we want you to imagine that you are passing this petition to your master guide. Your master guide is the guide at the top of your guiding system. And you may or you may not know who this master guide is. But we guarantee you this, your master guide is correlating not just the earthly life that you are having, but also the soul life that you are having. Your master guide is also correlating and orchestrating the 5th dimensional life you are having and the 7th dimensional life you are having. And the master guide is orchestrating the life that you are planning after this one. And so asking for your master guide to take the letter means that the meetings, which will happen out of non-linear time, will be conducted in a very fair way. And because your goals will be affecting the learning and the growth of those around you, it is important that your master guide is able to speak to the master guide of all the soulmates that you are hoping to receive change with. So you can use this method to call in new soulmates that are destined to come into your life from various soul groups. And this is where I would like to take a moment to talk to you about the different soul groups at your disposal. So you do, of course, have your original heavenly soul group. And this is the soul group where your romantic partners will come from in the main. This is also the soul group where at least 2 of your family members will come in from, and you will be very, very close to those, and you will often have 2 friends during your incarnation span that you know come from this same soul group. But then there are other soul groups that soulmates contract with you from. So we are going to give you some examples of those soulmate groups. So one of those soulmate groups is going to be other souls that come in to teach you. And this is a soul group where you have made a contract with another soul, and this soul is coming in whatever character they are coming in as, to teach you a lesson that expands you, not to punish you, but to expand you. So a soul that is coming in with a teaching lesson for you may be a premature baby to you. A soul that is coming in to teach you may be an elderly person that you learn a lot from, because of course they can already be incarnate. So that is one soul group that you will have soulmates from. Another soul group that you will have soulmates from are soulmates that you are going to teach. So these are soulmates that come in to learn from you. So this may be a romantic partner that you are contracted to be with for just a period of time, or this may be a earthly friend that you have that you are close to for a period of time, and they come into your lives to learn something from you. You then have what we call souls that are influenced and inspired by you. And we call this the inspirators group. And so you will have many, many, many different souls that through the course of your life are knowingly or unknowingly inspired by you. And these souls may or may not be known to you personally. They may be people that you have healed, people that you have taught, people that you have loved, or even people that you have not. They may be people that see you from afar, or people that admire you. But these are people that will take what you teach. They will take your energy. They will take your example into the collective. So this is a very important soul group indeed. And then there is one other soul group that we would like to mention, and this is the intergalactic soul group, where there are soulmates coming in from different galaxies, different galactic lines to yours, and they are very, very different to you. So these are the people that you meet that you have nothing in common with. And it may not be a matter of liking them or disliking them, but their energy is very, very different to yours. And to have contracts with these people expands you spiritually. So very often these will become your spiritual teachers, or these will become gifts, or these will become examples of what you do or you do not prefer. Very often these can be the very things which repulse you or trigger you or catalyze you in some way, whether you consider this to be positive or negative. Even so, it is important that you experience the so-called opposite of yourself, so that you become more well-rounded as a soul. And so these are the soul groups that you will be receiving input from during your life on earth, and it makes for a very exciting time. And it is our aim as your guides to expose you to more and more examples of love. And so there is never one example of love, because everything originates from love. And we finalize this transmission today by saying the energy of love is all around you now. And you can give this love a colour. You could give this love a shade. But what we ask you to do is to know that your very auric field really is vibrating at the energy of love at wider and wider and wider amounts. And as you know that you are this being of love, and if you can be this being of love here in the third dimension by loving what is without judgment, you are most certainly going to be loving the fourth dimensional life you have, the fifth dimensional life you have, the seventh dimensional life you have, and the eighth dimensional life you have. So you are a multi-dimensional being of love. And we will say to you, if you have the courage to decide that you love every moment, and you are able to let go of all judgments and all beliefs about whatever the moment provides, that force field of love will start to reflect the higher lives that you are living, which are physical to you in each of those lives, into the life you are living here. And so the hologram becomes filled with heaven. And that is how you create heaven on earth, as above, so below. I am Rose, and I love you, my friends. And from the causal plane, where the sun is shining and the sky is pink, I say a fond farewell for now.